Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 3 of The State of K-pop, a podcast where I talk about all things K-pop, from the industry to toxic K-pop stans to comebacks and choreographies, all from the point of view of a K-pop stan. Okay. Hello, everyone. This is going to be a very special episode. Every episode is special because I'm in it and I'm special. But today's going to be a special episode because I have never done not a review, but like I've never done a video talking about my experience talking about a K-pop concert, really, like in full like this. So I am very excited, and it's kind of crazy because it's crazy that I haven't done that yet on here, at least, like dedicated a full video to talking about it. Like I do have a video where I go over all the K-pop concerts I've been to, so I guess I have, so forget it. You can check that video out, but that video is old. I have been to, I'm pretty sure, I need to really sit and count, but I think I've been to 10 concerts at this point, the K-pop ones, which is crazy. Almost 10. Jhope might have been my 10th, or I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I'm very excited. I have my notes here. I'm going to talk about that, from, buying tickets for $27 45 minutes before to the actual concert to how I felt after and everything. But first, updates, because the last time, episode 2, when I filmed it, we did not have Lisa's or Jennie's comeback yet. And I'm not going to go too much into detail because this video is about J-Hope, and also a lot of time has passed at this point, in terms of time passing, in terms of like music and new releases. And my opinions are the same as everyone else's, so there's really no point in me rehashing what you've already heard before. But and I'm going to speak on, because people are like, why are you comparing, not to me specifically, but comparing Lisa and Jennie. Here's the thing. I don't think anyone would have had a problem if Lisa's comeback or album was received 100% well. That's one. Two, all 4 members of Blackpink, all 4 members of the same group, coming out with solo music around literally the same time. Rose's came out a little bit earlier, but Jisoo, Lisa, and Jennie had a comeback within 4 or 5 weeks of each other. So even if they had a comeback within 2 years of each other, it still, people would have, my earring came out. People still would have, talked about it regardless, so whether you think it, and it's not whether it's fair or not, life's not fair, but it was gonna happen regardless, you know what I mean. But I can only fully speak on Lisa and Jennie's projects because I've only listened to theirs in full. I have not listened to a single song from Rose's comeback, although I was at the mall yesterday and they were playing one and I was like, oh, this shit is fire. So I need to figure out what that song was and add it to my Spotify. Jisoo, I listened to Earthquake fully, and then I kind of listened to a little bit of the other songs, and I like that was consistent with her identity, right? Because she is an actor, and she said she wanted to go through, or showing going through the stages of what it's like, the different stages of love, which is super creative, right? But I can only speak on Lisa and Jennie because I listened to their projects fully when that shit came out at midnight. I was literally waiting. So TLDR, how everyone generally felt about Lisa was how I felt about Lisa's project, Alter Ego. I was just craving more of her identity, and I spoke about it in the second episode of this before it came out, and I need to rewatch it again, but I think I said the same thing that everyone was saying after it came out. If you don't know Blackpink, and this is a lot of people's first time hearing Lisa, because that is one of the reasons why these idols want to break out into the Western music industry, because they want to get new eyes on them. You have new eyes on you, and this is their first time listening to you. They don't have the parasocial relationship. And once you're out of the K-pop bubble, the K-pop industry, you don't have parasocial relationships to fall back on. So you don't have people that are ready to defend you tooth and nail and ready to accept everything that you ever do. Um so yeah, if this is your first project, you need to show your identity. And I feel like, no, I feel like it's true. The Western music industry and Western fans that consume music are more, and when I say critical, I don't mean that in a negative way, because critical to me, or critical in general, doesn't have to be like 100% negative. But it's with Western music, it's more about the music than it is about the person, whether for better or for worse. For K-pop, it is more about the parasocial relationship you have with the idol versus the music. The music, to me, with the way K-pop markets itself, it's not about the music. The music does not come first. The idol comes first, and the parasocial relationship you have with the idol. So you need to show off who you are and your identity, and the lyrics and stuff. It was just missing. Like, I don't know. No, I do know. It would be cool if she spoke about, who she is as a Thai person. Like, it would be so cool to see, like, and I don't know if maybe she'll still come out with the music video, but I was talking to my friend about, like, her song called Rapunzel with Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know if there's any Thai traditional hairstyles, but you could have done that. Thai specific instruments in the instrumentals, speaking on. She has so much to say. Lisa has been through so much. Like, I did not know that at 14 years old, she was on a plane to South Korea. Like, we could have heard that. We could have heard so much. And the lyrics were, like, pretty repetitive with, like, I'm rich and I get flown here and I'm on a runway and I'm an icon, which is great. Like, you are, period. But, a lot of people kind of get rich people flexing fatigue if you're not doing it in a creative way. And if you are calling yourself a rapper, rap in the K-pop industry versus, rap, like actual rap, you need to have lyricism, you need to have different flows, you need to have actual bars and creativity. So yeah, I just was a little underwhelmed by her comeback. I felt like there was more she could have tapped into. And just in general, once again, if you're introducing people to you for the first time in your music, you should have, like, you should show off your identity. I just felt like there was so much she could have talked about and so much she could have pulled from. But yeah, I really like Rapunzel. I like Fuck Up the World. Like, that's on my self-concept playlist. That's a nice hype one. Love to hear that at K-pop club night. I'm literally gonna learn the choreography for that because I really like it. But yeah, that's how I felt about Lisa's comeback. Jennie's comeback, not a single skip on that album. And that doesn't mean I have every single song. Not every song was for me, but subjective. I always get subjective and objective confused. Taking away my personal feelings, my personal opinions, every song was a bop. Every song was so good. Like Jennie, when it first came out, I wasn't a fan of it, but it grew on me. But my favorite songs were With IE, which so smart of her to do, FTS, Filter. Those are my favorites. Shout out Dem Joints, actually, one time. Shout out Dem Joints twice, 2 times, 3 times, 10 times. Yeah, like, Jennie was, she was getting really personal, and she was, talking about, because I watched her interview with, I think his name is Zane Lowe. If it's not, I'm sorry, but it's the Apple Music interview, and she did a great job. She did a really, really, really good job. And yeah, that's how I felt about those comebacks. But now we're going to get started with jhope concert. So I posted a video that blew up I think it's at, well, I don't know what it's at now, but last time I saw it was at like 700,000 views. It was me being like, I wanted to do the trend where it's like me looking at my blah 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 dollars dancing on stage or whatever. So I did it, and it was like me looking at my $27. So I got tickets with my friend 45 minutes before, literally bought them at 7:15 for $27. And had I waited, I would have been able to get them for $15. Because I literally saw a listing for $15. Apparently somebody saw a listing for $4, so I don't know. Bro. Anyway, but yeah, I really wanted to go, and I'm so glad I went, because I was sitting here and thinking about it, and I'm like, that was the best K-pop concert I've ever been to. Genuinely. Like, I would say maybe not, it's very interesting way to explain it. In maybe not in terms of my, how do I explain this? Like, overall production wise, the best K-pop concert I've been to. In terms of like, because I had fun, but in terms of like me having fun and like an experience, I would probably say like Stray Kids and ATEEZ. But like in terms of like production and choreography and storytelling, no one is touching jhope in terms of a concert. Like, ATEEZ definitely had storytelling, period, next sentence. jhope just on another level. Like, it was insane. But yeah, so let's start off with I think it's called VCR. I never know what to call it. I call it VAR, like the soccer. But so VCRs for other K-pop concerts are so funny, because it's literally just like them like sitting there like staring at the camera looking pretty, which is fine, but like we can delve deeper. We can create a whole nother universe. We can create a whole nother story and use our creativity to transport the audience to a whole different world. And J-Hope definitely did that. It's funny. I meant to say also, since the last episode of the podcast, I saw Ghost 9 and NCT 127 literally back to back, one day after the other. And it was so funny, because why NCT 127? They were in the which, hey, that was a story, so period. They're in America for real. Anyway, but yeah, his VCR was super cool and creative. So it was, I'm pretty sure you can find this on YouTube or whatever, the interweb, but it was two different versions of him. It was him driving a car, and then him stuck in this room, and anytime he tried to get out, he kept getting stuck. And Sherlock Holmes over here, I figured it out, because the J-Hope who was driving a car had a box, and I was like, the other J-Hope was stuck in the box, and I was like, oh my god, he's in the actual box that the other J-Hope has. And I figured it out, and I was like, oh bitch, I'm smart as fuck, I'm Sherlock Holmes. But and then to that box, like, he brought it out on stage. That was a smaller model of the stage. Like, that's so cool. It's just like, there were so many moments where I was sitting there and watching him perform, and I was like, this came from your mind. Like, you're so creative and intelligent, and I would love, I want more, no pun intended, BTS. I want more behind the scenes of these idols going through the creative process of, thinking of stuff like this. Because it's like, that's one of the reasons why I like listening to music too, that like, people write and stuff, because I'm like, yo, that came from your brain. Like, that came from your mind. Like, you're so creative. Like, I want to know, how much did he think of the moving stage? Did he think of, let me create a small, like, who thinks of that? You know what I mean? Like, so creative and so smart and cool. Like, anyway, yeah, so he first came out, and this man was dressed like Craven. Period. He had like the fur, he had all red. That shit was fire as fuck. It was so fire. But yes, let me tell you why it was the best in terms of like production and stuff. Absolutely nothing is touching it. So first of all, J-Hope's stage presence is funny, because I talked about this with D and Joy, who you guys are familiar with at this point if you watch my vlogs. We were talking about this, and we were talking about the rap line of BTS and what the different types of stage presence they have, because they all have different stage presence, right? Like, Yoongi has the stage presence of a rapper, if that makes sense. If you know, you know. Like, if you get it, you get it, and if you don't, you're wrong. But Yoongi has like the stage presence of a rapper. Like, he's very energetic, but he's also very cool, and like I don't know how to describe it. Like his movement is like grounded. Um RM, I don't know how to describe his stage presence. He's more I don't know how to describe it. Like he's it's giving his stage presence is giving you go to like a spoken mic or like open mic, and it's like spoken word and stuff. That's kind of his stage presence to me. And like not who has that stage presence? No one really has a stage presence like RM. He's super interesting and different. But jhope he's like he has a stage presence of an artist. Like even when he first came out on stage, the way he was like moving and stuff, like it's there are certain people that move like that, and I don't know how to describe it. I could literally just describe it as an artist. Like like he was moving in a way where like he was genuinely not only performing the song, he was in the song. Like the song was taking over his body. It was very like it seemed like I don't want to say spiritual, but for lack of a better term, spiritual experience, I guess. But so so this part creeped me out. So for the first time he came out, there were three screens. You know, the big screens for the people in the back, like us who can't see him. So it was one here, and one in the middle. And this one in the middle was more the storytelling one. The ones on the sides were just like showing him, but closer. And so I have a hair in my mouth. Why does that always happen? I always have hair in my mouth when this happens. Oh, because of the mic. Okay. Anyway, but it was the left one and the right one showing him, and this one was like more of, you know, special effects editing and stuff. And the middle one was his jack in the box, I guess. And it was a silhouette, and it was the jack. Is it called a jack? I don't know. The jack in the box thing, the thing that pops out, was like banging on the screen like this. And it was so creepy. And what sealed the deal, where I literally turned to D and I was like, oh my God, this is actually like so creepy. I'm creeped out right now. Was the dancers. So the stage, I feel like you've seen at this point, but the stage rises and falls, right? Rises and lowers. And he rose up. So you saw him standing here, and you saw behind the dancer's hands reaching out to him. So when he walked to the left, the dancers reached to the left. When he walked to the right, the dancers reached. And I was like, oh my God, it's so creative, but like it's also so creepy. So I thought that was really, really cool. But like that was like that was the beginning of the concert. And I have here already automatically storytelling done in such a cool and different way that's not common, which one of the reasons why I think this was such a good concert was because of that, because of the creativity and the storytelling. Like I feel like people think that, you know, storytelling can only be verbal, but he did it in such many different ways, which I'll go into more later, which just like elevated him and put him on another level. And yeah, also even to the way the camera crew was filming, and I think it was also because they were in Barclays Center, but it was every time they showed the audience and him in one frame. Like usually they just show the idol, right? But he was here, and then you saw the audience kind of blurred out here, and it just looked so cool. And it made it seem even more grandiose. Okay, yes. So I went on Thursday, by the way. So we were the first. Well, no, were we the first people to hear Mona Lisa? I think we were. I thought he performed it in Korea, but apparently I looked it up and it said like the world premiere of Mona Lisa, Brooklyn, New York. So, but yeah, it was nice to see I don't even want to call it a more mature side of him, you know, like Jungkook kind of, and it's so funny too. I really be predicting shit, honestly, but I like before this I was talking to my friends and I was like, what members of BTS have 7? Like what, you know what I mean? Jungkook has 7. RM has, you know, well, that's not even 7 though. what, she's a pro rider, hoo 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 rider. But that song was like talking about a breakup, so not really. But I was like, I feel like we're going to get the equivalent of Seven by Jungkook from all the other BTS members, and then Mona Lisa comes out. So we're two of seven now. But like Jungkook talked about this, and I made a whole entire video talking about to stop infantilizing K-pop idols. And that is a great video, one of my favorite videos. Definitely check it out. I went into way more in depth there, and like there was a crazy thing about people thinking that Jungkook was put up against his will to make Seven. That shit is crazy. That's a very good video. Go watch that video. But yeah, I go more into depth there, but basically, like, you know, Jungkook, to the people that were upset when he came out with Seven, he was like, love and romance and that those type of topics is a normal part of life. Like, I don't know if you know this. Do you know the reason why humans exist and why we're all here? Like, it should not be a taboo topic because, like, you know, 8 billion people in the world. How you think we got here? Like, we need to be so for real. So I don't even want to call this mature, because love and relationships are a normal part of life, and to call something mature, I don't know, I feel like it makes it taboo, I guess. But yeah, it's nice to see this side of him. And, you know, congrats to whoever the song is about. Shout out to you if you're watching. But yeah, no, the song is great. I'm actually going to be teaching the choreography for Mona Lisa. So if you want to learn that from me, go to my Instagram and I will post the information and stuff. Very exciting. But yes, also, which I will talk about the background dancers more, which I don't even want to call them background dancers because they were not in the background. They were literally in the foreground for this. But even the way the choreography was, like, he was interacting with the dancers. They weren't just in the back. And I talked about this with, you know, I talked about this in my Kai video. Kai is definitely another person who, when he's doing choreography, the dancers are not just props in the back. They are used to help him tell the story, and that makes the choreography and the song and the project in general have a deeper vibe and a more creative vibe. So it was really cool and I really liked it. And also the choreo was not K-pop, any K-pop choreography I've seen before, which this is what happens when you like outsource, you know. This is what happens when you have like, so one of the dancers, so it was Ren, and I think, oh, I forgot her name. I think she literally choreographed like AO or Fact Check. I think she did AO. Rita, I forgot her name. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. But Ren, and if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly, I'm sorry too. But I've been following him for a minute. I found him through what's that? The Steezy. I forgot what song he was dancing to, but I was like, oh my god, he's so good. So I followed him, and then cut to now he's, you know, dancing with jhope, which is so cool. But him and the other girl, Rita, I think. I'm sorry once again. I'm so sorry for pronouncing your name wrong. But they helped come up with the choreography for Mona Lisa. I don't know if it was just them, but they did a great job. And like, this is what happens when you get dancers and just people in general from different backgrounds, you know. I was talking about this too, but one of the reasons why I think SM's music videos and songs are so good is because they outsource so much from, you know, songwriters and producers from all over the world. I feel like they do it the most, or they publicly speak on it the most. But I feel like when you outsource and get people from different backgrounds to all come together, obviously you're going to get something even more creative. But yes, okay, storytelling. Like I said before, J-Hope, his storytelling was achieved in so many different ways through the VAR, which if it's not called that, bro, you know what I'm talking about. Through the dancing, the stage, literally moving up and down. And I know somebody who built the stage, so cool. Baksu, claps to you. Claps to everybody. Also to take a moment and give little ASMR, little snaps for, you know, the stage crew, lighting, people who built the thing, the translator, everybody. Because it takes a village. And I feel like we do not give enough, you know, props to them. But yes, the stage moving up and down, and also for, I'm pretty sure it was Daydream. There was this section where he was laying on a ramp and the fog machine was out, so it looked like he was like laying on a cloud, which was also cool. And the platform rising during airplane. Like, storytelling, like I said before, could be done in many different ways besides just verbally. So he did a great job, super creative and intelligent. And once again, jhope, I know you're watching. Please, Juseo, come out with if you want to, come out with a video. Like, I would love to see a video talking about the behind the scenes and, you know, how much he had in the creative process, because so much of it was like so cool and mind blowing. But yes, the stage was moving. The stage was moving, and it was just like, here's the thing too. And I said this, I have this written down, but like, so many people are like, okay, it's a stage, let's just dance on it. And like, we'll do other stuff around it, but that's it. Like, there are, out of all of the concerts that have been existing, very few people make the stage a prop. Making the stage move up and down, or like Tyler the Creator performing on the green, you know, I forgot what it is, the shipping container, I think, like that thing. Like, this is what I'm saying. You have a different level of creativity when you're like, no, let's make the stage something. You know what I mean? Let's not just have it there and we're just dancing. Like, that shows who's on a different level. Like, so cool. And yes, back to the LED screens. Like, the screens weren't just showing him. Like, it was like overlays and edited. Like, when he was performing Ego, there were like fish there. Even when he was performing the first songs, like, they had cool edits where he was like kind of slowed down and in black and white. Like, there was just so much thought and creativity went into this. And like there were like lasers and lighting was cool. And like, bro, I need every single if you are a musician, come out with a light stick, because there were so many times. And once again, this is what my either 7th or 10th K-pop concert. Looking around and seeing all the light sticks was so fucking cool. So cool. And like, that was the first times I saw like army bombs in action. So like the sea of purple was just, dude, it was just sick. It was sick. Anyway, but yes, jhope and his artistry, which that was actually the title or the subject of my last episode talking about artistry. But you can tell what people are passionate about, right? Because that is usually what they talk about a lot. That is usually something that they are constantly doing. And you could tell that jhope is passionate about dance, which we already got we know this, right? And we already got the documentary, you know, where he was learning different styles of dance. But he was literally showcased. Like, this is where they were not background dancers. Because, like, if you are watching a concert and it's just, like, somebody and their backup dancers, you take away the backup dancers, nothing was really gonna, you know what I mean? Like, change. Like, it's, you know? But if you took away jhope's dancers for this, it would seem a little more empty. Because the backup dancers had such big parts. They were literally being highlighted for multiple sections. Like, jhope, the dancers were just as important as jhope. And I feel like a lot of artists, when they have that spotlight on them, especially it's my concert, why do I have to fucking share the spotlight with you? You know what I mean? Like, the fact that he did that was just so cool, and just shows how passionate he is about dancing and how much he actually cares about dancing. They were a part of the story, you know? Yeah, and like I said, we got that documentary before, but it just shows that he actually cares. He is consistent. Like, this is very serious to him. He loves dance. He's very passionate about it. And when whatever you're passionate about, you're going to show it off everywhere, you know? So, very, very cool. One of the dancers, shout out Ren, by the way, period, the two unks that came out when they were doing it's not called a robot. It is a type of dance style, and I don't know what it's called, and I'm sorry. I don't know if it's dime stops. I think part of it has to do with dime stops, so it's very like animated and robotic, and like watching them move was hypnotizing, because they literally looked like animatronics. It was crazy. But me and D, I don't know if I recorded it, but me and D were like if you have seen my YouTube shorts, my TikToks, my Instagrams of like how we act at concerts, like I posted a video of me, like the $27 video, and somebody was like, "Oh my god, I thought she'd be more hype," and I was like, I didn't post the videos of me screaming yet, but literally there was a part where Unc was like, "Let me put the mic down like this." We were like, "Oh, Unc!" But like there was a part where they were like going like this. It was fucking sick. So I need those dudes Instagram, but like nah, they were fucking eating. They were fucking eating, dude. Like, and this is me too. You know, me and D get this a lot. Where we'll sit next to someone or we'll sit near someone at a concert and they'll be like, "Oh my god, we need to go to a concert with you." And it's like, yeah, cause like no offense, but like bitches don't be having fun at concerts. I made a video about this in my shorts, in Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok. But like, why are we going to a concert just to like put our phones up and record? You could have just stayed at home and watched the concert on your phone. Like, I'm here to have a fun fucking time. Songs I was really excited for. One verse I was tweaking out. I kind of forgot about that song, even though I literally have it downloaded on my YouTube downloads. But it's one of my favorite songs by him. And like he had like purple and green lighting and it was giving Joker, which was really, really cool. And he went to the front of the crowd to interact with armies. And like, listen, no tea, no shade. But if J-Hope is coming up to you, interacting with you, put your fucking phone down. I don't know about you, but if I'm performing and somebody's like this, I'm moving along. I don't want to fucking interact with the back of your fucking phone. I would like to interact with you. That's why he's coming down. Because we're not on social media. Because we don't have a screen in between both of us. I'm trying to interact with you as my fan. So no tea, no shade. But also too, like, bro, there are 19,999 other people in this current place that we're at, in this arena. You don't think somebody's gonna be recording your reaction between you and J-Hope? Like, put your fucking phone down. I'm sorry, bro. That shit, I was like, yo, come on. And this is, I'm like, so many times where I'm like, yo, if me and D were front row, oh, me and J-Hope would have had a time. Me and J-Hope would have had a fucking time, bro. Oh, anyway, but yeah, I'm definitely happy though from the interactions that I've seen with Army and him for the other stops and this stop too for Thursday. Everybody's super chill. Knock on wood, knock on my bed. Everybody is super chill and respectful, which is great because you know bitches can be weird. But yeah, shout out to you guys for being respectful, even though it's bare minimum. Yeah, Baseline and Hung Song. Hung Song was the song I was waiting for him to sing, and when Hung Song came on, I literally went fucking insane. But Baseline and Hung Song are like my favorite J-Hope songs. I think Hung Song is my favorite J-Hope song, if you guys are curious. But you need to have a lot of charisma and stage presence to be on a stage alone and be able to hype the crowd up. And I understand you're in a room full of your diehard fans, right? But when he was at Hobie Palooza, there were a bunch of people who knew nothing about BTS, who were not ARMY, and who were like, wow, I'm a fan now. And I feel like even if you put him in a crowd full of people who do not know who he is still able to captivate the crowd and bring such a cool level of energy and charisma and, you know, creativity and just entertainment in general. Like, he was genuinely born to be on stage. Actually born to be on stage. Like, he did such a good job with that. And once again, you need to have such a high level of stage presence and charisma to do that, which, you know, he has been doing this shit for fucking years, right? This is his job. But also, he was doing that with 6 other people. So the fact that he's alone and he's still able to do this is fucking amazing. A lot of people talked about it, but when he performed Mic Drop solo, like, everybody was like, yeah, that was J-Hope's era. Like, dude, like, literally, like, and that was my next thing. This is the first time I was hearing BTS songs like IRL. Because I had never been to a BTS concert before. I didn't see Yoongi. I didn't see Yoongi when he went on tour, but it's okay, because we're gonna collab. But that was my first time hearing, you know, Mic Drop being performed. That was my first time hearing Bepse and what else? Disease, one of my favorite BTS songs. Like, and I was sitting there like mouth agape in shock because I was like, dude, like for Bepse, especially like the older BTS songs, by the time BTS comes back and then by the time they go on tour, like, which tangent for a second, let me skirt to the left for a second, it's still related, but I was kind of shocked when, oh, and by the way, I've been looking at this is a freebie that somebody gave me, slay. But I was kind of shocked because, you know, when these idols got back from the army, I thought that we wouldn't be getting anything from them for at least a couple months. Because for me personally, I just got back from serving in the military. I want a break. Like the fact that we are automatically already coming out with stuff automatic. Like I was honestly shocked when J-Hope was like, I'm going on tour. I was like shocked. But yeah, like, so when all of them do come back, I don't know when we're getting that tour. And that set list is going to look different. And I mean, they were like, this is the last time we're performing Sorry for Part 3, which if I catch any of them in the street, it's on site. Like we're fighting. Because why? Why? The only one who told you to not do that was you. Like why? Okay. BTS needs to go on tour with just their old songs. I'd be front row. It was Cypher Part 3, right? Where they said that was the last time they're performing it, right? Not Cypher Part 4. One of them. I think it was Part 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. You will. But, you know, it's going to be a different set list. So, like, songs like Bepse might not be on the set list anymore. So, that might be the only time I might hear that song. You know? But I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, I was like, this is my first time hearing, like, a BTS song being performed by a member live. Like, I was like, oh, this is crazy. And I'm so happy too that because when I went to NCT 127, unfortunately, and I'm really, really good, because I've gone to so many concerts, I'm very good with knowing when to record and knowing when to be in the moment. But for 127, I was so excited, and I knew there are some concerts where I don't really go back and look at the videos, but 127 I knew I would. So I was trying to record a lot and also be in the moment, and I wasn't, because I was like trying to balance it, and that's something that I was like, fuck. So for J-Hope, I was like, I took the, like, in basically no videos because I was really in the moment. I was trying to, and I really was. So I was really, really happy about that. But yeah, like, it was just overall great. And, you know, when he was showing off the, you know, band, the people, like, actually, like, band performing or whatever, I was like, oh my god, I'm seeing black people. And something about BTS, they finna include black people, whether in the fucking background singing, whether the dancers, drum, bass, whatever. So happy to see. But yeah, that was it. I'm so happy that I went, and honestly, I probably would have gone Friday, but I woke up with a headache. But that's okay. I'm really, really happy that I went. I was blown away by the creativity and, you know, just different level that J-Hope is at, just in terms of everything, in terms of the storytelling, in terms of the stage presence and the charisma. And I find myself when I watch concerts being like, okay, when I do my concert, how am I gonna do it? Like, I literally, like, he's just such an inspiration for me. And he was talking about his inspirations being Detry, which is great because she's an army. I don't know if you guys know that. But Detry and Tyler the Creator, and that's when, like, D texted me, and D was like, oh, we're about to get some shit, because, like, Tyler the Creator and Detry are both such creatives and such artists. So it was definitely like, you know, you are an amalgamation in terms of artistry of who you listen to. And it is obvious that he listens to people that are very creative because he himself is very creative, and that is reflected in what he does. So I said this after the concert, but I hope some K-pop groups and the K-pop industry in general takes notes and tries to be more creative and, you know, tell a story. Like ATEEZ was very good at doing that. We were literally at a play. Like, we were literally at a play at the ATEEZ concert. But yeah, no, absolutely amazing. Baksu. Claps to J-Hope, claps to everybody who worked on it, claps to all the dancers and stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this, special episode of the state of K-pop, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
I like my girl.